All right, welcome to another video lesson on the GRE, this time on time management. I hope you're all doing well in the midst of the pandemic and taking advantage of the lockdown. It's a good time to utilize the time productively by preparing for this prerequisite test. Here is one more lesson on time management. So time is number one enemy in any of the exams. It's even more true when it comes to the reasoning test, because in all the reasoning tests, the accuracy and the rapidity is of paramount priority. Let's look at how to deal with this time management. The crux of the issue is we fall short on the time because we don't do well on certain things. For example, we don't prepare well, we don't know the concepts, and when you begin to face these questions, you get all the questions during the exam. So preparedness is very important, right material is important, and when doing things in a standard way, in standard test conditions, before you go to the exam is even more important. And then, how much time that we need to spend on each question. There are six different types of questions when it comes to verbal: sentence equivalence, text completion, reading comprehension, critical reasoning, and you have two tasks on analytical writing. For example, sentence equivalence questions doesn't take much time, whereas the reading comprehension questions are very demanding. So you need to allocate time accordingly out of that 30 minutes. And then also you need to understand that the format of the test, especially the GRE, is a section level adaptive test. That means how well you do the first section determines the level of difficulty of the following section. So harder the section, more demanding it becomes on the questions. And I also give you an average time that each question can take. As you can see, 45 seconds for sentence equivalence, fill in the blank question, whereas the reading comprehension, yeah, I'm just giving an average here, and it can even go up to 3 minutes for each question of the reading comprehension. It depends on the subject matter of the test, right? And also the kind of question. For example, inference question, it can take much longer. So how to deal with these issues of time management? So understand that you have 30 minutes to answer those 20 questions, or 35 minutes when it comes to the quant. So you have to prioritize and allocate the time accordingly. So the good thing about GRE is you can preview the entire section, and then you can right away deal with those questions that are easy for you. And then more difficult ones, you can keep it at the end. So you can pick and choose which one you want to answer after the preview. There's no penalty for the wrong answer, so don't leave any question unanswered. And also, you need to learn to answer questions with measured confidence, because if you take too long on one particular question type, it's going to penalize us. So, and also avoid reworking, second guessing. So, if you practice well, then you would have developed a standard approach, the work harder, that will give you results consistently. So without that, you will be working on trial and error method, which is not productive. And also, it's very important to understand that when it comes to responding to the questions in the timed conditions, those medium and hard questions, they're very important, because as you deal with questions with measure of accuracy, then your questions are going to be more harder. So definitely you will have more of medium and harder questions. So work on your process of elimination, and we have some video lessons made on process of elimination also. Decide whether you need to guess or quit and move on. And most important one is how to deal with the countdown clock. So countdown clock is not common in all the exams, but it's very important to know that when it comes to GRE, you have to get used to this countdown clock. And since you can review that, you can also, there is a mark button, so you can mark and go back to those marked questions for review when you have time. More about the countdown timer. For example, so you need to have a target like this. By the time it comes to 15 minutes, you should be doing around question number 11. By the time you come to down to 5 minutes, you should be doing about question number 17. So you can have such questions marked, and you can pace along with that. And analytical writing tasks, you have only 30 minutes. So it can take up to 10 minutes to analyze the issue or argument and then brainstorm for the ideas. So do everything in first 10 minutes and make an outline. Now, once the outline is ready, writing each task for about 20 minutes is not going to be very difficult. So the important takeaway for this time management is work on your practice. And second one is develop your own work harder, and then become confident whether to quit or guess or to choose. Because if you take longer time, it's going to penalize us in the overall scoring of the GRE. So we look at our distinctions. We do provide a very time-bound and effective and a course and program that covers both foundational to high scoring guidance. And we also pay very special attention on vocabulary. And there is a learning management system. It's a repository of all the practice material available in under user ID and password, available for 180 days. Please talk to our support, and we would assure you that you would get a very rewarding and uh, effective learning and coaching on your GRE, GMAT, and SAT as well. And most importantly, thank you so much for your time and stopping by. And I hope you found the lesson interesting and also informative. Leave your comments, and thank you once again for your interest in preparing for the GRE and considering Y-axis for the coaching. Thank you.